Sometimes those things happen. Sometimes those things don't happen. But the anticipation and the worry of that's the thing that really makes us feel really strangled. I work inside of a prison, so I work with a lot of young men. Hi, my name is Erin, and I think my advice would be to men, and when it comes to mental health, is that you're not alone. And I think there's a lot of pressure from society to be a certain way, to act a certain way, to be masculine or tough or whatever it is, and to never show any weakness or whatever it is. But I think that all of us go through really tough times, and I think all of us have a lot of trauma. And I think that when we recognize that other people also are going through those things, sometimes that makes us feel that we're not alone, and that we can support each other, and we can move through these ups and downs of life together. So I think, when we're not in our best place of mind, I think the best thing to do is to do the little things that make you feel better. Maybe it's just taking a walk outside. Maybe it's talking to a good friend. Maybe it's being in nature, or taking whatever. It doesn't have to be much, but it's just something that makes you feel a little bit more calm, a little bit more grounded, just one day at a time, just one step at a time. And I think one of the most important things for people is community and connection. And when we have those things, it really makes us feel purpose in life. So I think if you are going through a low moment or going through depression, some things that might help are just little things, making sure that you get moving your body. I think that's really important. We know that taking a walk or doing a little bit of exercise or whatever it is, that this can really shift your hormones, or dopamine and your serotonin, those feel-good hormones. I think making sure you make connection with people, so calling a friend or meeting up with someone, or having a therapist, whatever it is, speaking can be really useful to kind of take some of that weight off of your shoulders and spread it around to other people until you feel more supported. I would also say, when it comes to depression, is thinking about what are the little things that make you feel good, and what are those moments that make you feel good, and maybe you just choose one of those things today to do to kind of support yourself. I think with anxiety, when we think about, a lot of people suffer with anxiety, and it can be quite paralyzing. And when we think about what happens with anxiety, is how it affects our body and how it affects our nervous system. So one of the things is that often we get stuck in our heads, and we're worried about what's to come. So my advice would be getting yourself out of your head a little bit and into your body. So getting into the moment. So little things like just noticing your feet on the floor. Breathing is really useful. So taking just slow, deep breaths, making the breath match 4 count in, 4 count out. Anything that's going to help to kind of bring your nervous system back down. So getting out of this headspace of worry a little bit, and just getting more into this moment of now. So I would say, if you are kind of transitioning into adulthood, of course, that's going to bring people a little bit of anxiety and uncertainty and worry about what's it going to be like. I would think, try not to think about the whole picture. Everything, it's going to happen. Try to just take it one day at a time. I also think what's really important is just allowing yourself to be vulnerable. So allowing yourself to express your feelings. And I think you don't have to be bravado and strong all the time. It's okay to express how you're feeling, and I think that can be really useful, knowing that everyone else is going through this as well, right? Everybody else at that phase finds it overwhelming, right? And I think just taking a day at a time, connecting with other people around you, connecting with other people in the community, going to talks, going into men's circles, all this kind of stuff, that really you'll realize is that you're not alone, and that together we can support each other to get through this. I read this study once, and it was talking about people. I work inside of a prison, so I work with a lot of young men, and it was talking about, people and the recidivism rate of people going back into prison because of X, Y, and Z. And I think personally a lot of it has to do with mental health. And they did this program in the States where they took all these men together, and they had them build a community garden. And they found that by working together as a group, coming together as a community, also having some purpose. So, with gardening, it's making something grow. You're keeping something alive. It's something you can see, something you can smell, it's something you can eat. It's tangible. That all of this really helped not only with depression and anxiety, but also it gave people purpose. So I think what's really important for young men is to find something that makes you feel excited about. And it can be whatever, going to a cycling group or going to a gardening group or meeting up with a dance group or whatever it is. But when you have this kind of community connection, that typically makes us feel more grounded and more centered and gives us more purpose.